Ever wondered if the Bible is just a legendary text or a historical document? This question has sparked countless discussions, debates, and even controversies over the centuries. The Bible, a book revered by millions, is more than just a religious text for Christians. It's a beacon of their faith, a guide to living a righteous life, and a source of comfort and hope. Yet, to truly understand its significance, we need to peer beneath its spiritual veneer and examine it from a historical perspective. By doing so, we don't diminish its religious importance, but rather we enrich our understanding of it. We bring to light the human experiences and historical events that have shaped the text we know today. This exploration is the crux of our video. We'll journey through time, tracing the origins of the Bible, scrutinizing its historical accuracy, and delving into the scholarly debates that have surrounded it. We'll examine archaeological findings that corroborate biblical events and conduct a literary analysis of the text. We'll also present contrasting views and controversies that have arisen over the years, providing a well-rounded perspective on the Bible as a historical document. In this quest, we will draw upon the wisdom of renowned scholars like Augustine of Hippo, who once said, "The Holy Scriptures are our letters from home." We'll also reference the insights of Bart D. Ehrman, a leading authority on the New Testament and the history of early Christianity, who urges us to understand the Bible from a historical context. So why embark on this journey? Because understanding the Bible as a historical document allows us to appreciate its profound influence on culture and society. It helps us comprehend how a collection of texts, penned over thousands of years by numerous authors, could shape civilizations, inspire laws, and influence the course of human history. So buckle up as we delve deep into the annals of history, examining the Bible as never before. This journey promises to be enlightening, thought-provoking, and perhaps even challenging, but above all, it will be a quest for truth. Ever heard of the man who thought the epistles were the wives of the apostles? Yes, you heard that right. It's one of the many humorous anecdotes surrounding biblical misinterpretations that have been passed down through the ages. Let's dive into a few more. Picture this. A young Sunday school student who, when asked to draw a picture of the story of Elijah ascending to heaven, included a man in the back of a car. When questioned, the child said it was drawn from the verse in Kings that says, "Behold, there appeared a chariot of fire and horses of fire." Clearly, Elijah was just catching a fiery Uber ride, right? And then there's the tale of the enthusiastic Bible reader who, after studying the story of Noah, decided to build an ark in his backyard. He wanted to be prepared, just in case another great flood decided to swing by. His neighbors were, let's say, less than thrilled at the sight of a gigantic wooden boat blocking their view. Moving on, there's the curious case of the woman who believed that the fruit Eve ate in the Garden of Eden was an apple simply because that's what she'd seen in countless paintings and heard in many stories. But in reality, the Bible doesn't specify the type of fruit. It could have been a pomegranate for all we know. Then there's the widespread belief that there were 3 wise men who visited baby Jesus. The Bible, however, only mentions wise men, not the exact number. The number 3 likely came from the 3 gifts they brought: gold, frankincense, and myrrh. These tales, while amusing, highlight the prevalence of biblical misinterpretations. They remind us of the importance of reading and understanding the text for ourselves, instead of relying solely on second-hand information or popular culture. So, next time when someone tells you that Jonah was swallowed by a whale, remember the Bible says it was a great fish. And no, it's not the same thing. As amusing as these stories are, they underscore the need for proper understanding of the Bible. What if I told you that dirt could talk? Indeed, the soil beneath our feet is more than just dirt. It's a time capsule, a historical record, a storyteller. And when the language of archaeology is used to decipher it, the dirt begins to recount tales of the past. Among these tales are narratives that resonate with the biblical text, bridging the gap between faith and history. Take, for instance, the Dead Sea Scrolls. Discovered in the mid-20th century in the caves near the Dead Sea, these ancient parchments have transformed our understanding of the Bible. They contain the oldest known copies of the Hebrew Bible, with some texts dating back to the 2nd century BC. What's fascinating is that the texts, despite their antiquity, mirror much of what's found in the modern Bible, showcasing the preservation of these religious texts over centuries. In addition to affirming the Bible's textual integrity, The Dead Sea Scrolls also provide an intimate glimpse into the religious, political, and social life of the time, aligning significantly with the biblical narratives. They serve as a tangible link between the world of today and the ancient world depicted in the Bible, but the whispers of the past don't stop there. Let's journey a bit further back in time to the ancient Hittite civilization. For years, skeptics dismissed the Hittites, mentioned in the Old Testament, as a biblical fabrication. That was until the late 19th century when archaeologists unearthed the remnants of a vast Hittite city in modern-day Turkey, proving the existence of this once doubted civilization. The archaeological evidence didn't just validate the Hittites' existence, but also provided context to the biblical narratives. The artifacts, inscriptions, and structures discovered gave us an understanding of Hittite culture, religion, and political structures, offering a backdrop to the biblical accounts where the Hittites interacted with biblical figures. And these are just two examples. From the ruins of Jericho's walls that echo the book of Joshua's narrative to the Tel Dan stele that bears the first historical reference to the house of David, the list goes on. Each archaeological discovery, in its own way, corroborates the historical authenticity of the Bible. So when we say that dirt can talk, it's not a whimsical metaphor, it's a testament to how archaeological evidence, meticulously excavated and carefully analyzed, can breathe life into the past. It's a testament to how these ancient relics whisper tales of the past, giving us a glimpse into the world from which the Bible emerged. But here's the thing, archaeology doesn't prove faith, it's not meant to. It simply provides historical context, a frame of reference, a backdrop against which the biblical narratives unfold. It allows us to see the Bible not just as a spiritual guide, but also as a historical document that mirrors the times it was written in. These ancient relics whisper tales of the past, lending credence to the Bible's narratives. And in doing so, they invite us to engage with the Bible in a deeper, more nuanced way. They invite us to understand it as a text that is both divine and human, both timeless and historical. Picture may paint 1,000 words, but a word can paint 1,000 pictures. This adage rings particularly true when applied to the Bible, a text that's not only a religious cornerstone, but also a literary masterpiece, reflecting the historical periods, societal norms, and cultural practices of its time. Let's delve into the literary aspects of the Bible. It's a collection of 66 books, written by about 40 authors over a span of about 1,500 years. These authors were kings, shepherds, scholars, and fishermen, to name a few, each contributing their unique perspectives and experiences. This diversity of authorship makes the Bible a treasure trove of literary styles: poetry, allegory, parable, prophecy, and historical narrative, among others. The Bible's historical narratives provide a window into the past. The book of Genesis, for instance, offers insights into the early Semitic cultures. Its stories about Abraham and his descendants reflect the nomadic lifestyle prevalent in the Near East during the 2nd millennium BC. Similarly, the books of Exodus and Numbers narrate the Israelites' journey from Egypt to Canaan, mirroring the geopolitical dynamics of the time. In terms of societal norms, the Bible is a mirror of its era. The Mosaic laws, as outlined in the books of Exodus, Leviticus, and Deuteronomy, provide a glimpse into the moral, civil, and ceremonial laws of ancient Israel. These laws, which touch on everything from agriculture to crime and punishment, provide a snapshot of the societal norms and ethical standards of the time. The Bible also reflects the cultural practices of its time. The feast days, sacrifices, and rituals described in the Old Testament offer a wealth of information about the religious practices of ancient Israelites. The New Testament, on the other hand, provides a glimpse into the Greco-Roman world of the 1st century AD. Its epistles and gospels discuss topics ranging from philosophy and politics to social etiquette and daily life, encapsulating the cultural milieu of the period. Finally, the Bible's literary richness extends to its use of metaphor and symbolism. These devices convey profound truths about human nature, the divine, and the relationship between the two. For instance, the parable of the prodigal son, found in the Gospel of Luke, uses a family story to illustrate divine forgiveness and human repentance, themes that resonate across cultures and eras. In the words of Augustine of Hippo, the Holy Scriptures are our letters from home. Indeed, the Bible's enduring appeal lies not just in its spiritual teachings, but also in its ability to transport readers across time and space, offering them a first-hand experience of the human condition throughout history. So while it's tempting to view the Bible solely as a religious text, such a perspective overlooks its literary and historical richness. Its tales of kings and prophets, miracles and parables, laws and rituals not only inspire faith but also shed light on the tapestry of human history. The Bible, in many ways, serves as a time capsule preserving the essence of bygone eras. Is truth absolute, or does it lie in the eye of the beholder? This question serves as a springboard into the realm of contrasting views concerning the Bible's historical validity. On one side of the debate, we have scholars like Augustine of Hippo, an influential theologian from the 4th century. He asserted that the Bible, in its entirety, was a factual account of history. Augustine famously stated, "For the reasonings of any men whatsoever, even though they be Catholics and of high reputation, are not to be treated by us in the same way as the canonical scriptures are treated. We are at liberty, without any blame, to reject and to refuse anything in their writings, if perchance we shall find that they have entertained opinions differing from that which others, or we ourselves have, by the divine help, discovered to be the truth." In essence, Augustine believed the Bible's historical validity was beyond question. On the other end of the spectrum, we find scholars like Bart D. Ehrman, a New Testament scholar and professor at the University of North Carolina. Ehrman, well known for his critique of biblical inerrancy, once said, "What I came to see is that it's not just that the Bible has errors, but that can be a positive thing, because these errors can show us what the authors of the Bible were actually trying to communicate." Ehrman's point of view suggests that the Bible's historical inaccuracies do not devalue it, but instead provide a window into the socio-cultural context in which it was written. The divergence between Augustine and Ehrman's perspectives is emblematic of the broader scholarly discourse. Some see the Bible as a verbatim account of history, while others view it as a culturally and historically nuanced text. The former group holds that the Bible's narratives, like the Exodus or the resurrection, are factual events. The latter group, however, approaches these narratives as allegorical or metaphorical, seeing them as expressions of deeper spiritual truths rather than literal historical events. This dichotomy of views is not a cause for division, but rather a testament to the richness and complexity of the Bible as a text. It underscores the Bible's enduring relevance, that it continues to invite rigorous scholarly debate centuries after its compilation. To some, the Bible's historical validity is an undeniable truth, a cornerstone of their faith. To others, its value lies not in its historical accuracy, but in the profound moral and spiritual lessons it imparts. These contrasting views do not diminish the Bible's significance, they enhance it, painting a multifaceted picture of a text that has shaped and continues to shape human history. As we delve deeper into this discourse, we see that the question of the Bible's historical validity is not a simple binary of fact or fiction. It's a multifaceted discussion, a vibrant tapestry woven from countless threads of interpretation, belief, and understanding. This ongoing debate, this exploration of truth and meaning, is what makes the Bible an enduringly fascinating text. The discourse around the Bible's historical validity is as multifaceted as the document itself. Without a little controversy, history would be as bland as unsalted popcorn. The Bible, like any ancient text with profound influence, is not without its share of controversies. Some of these controversies revolve around certain books known as the Apocrypha, the role of women, and allegations of historical inaccuracies. Let's start with the Apocrypha. These are a collection of books that were included in some versions of the Bible, particularly the Septuagint and the Latin Vulgate, but were not found in the Hebrew Bible. The debate over their canonical status has been ongoing for centuries. The Catholic Church accepts them as part of the canon, while most Protestant denominations do not. These books, including Tobit, Judith, and 1st and 2nd Maccabees, among others, raise questions about the formation of the biblical canon and the criteria used to determine which books were considered sacred. Next, we turn to a topic that has been at the forefront of modern conversations: The role of women. The Bible, written in a time when society was largely patriarchal, has passages that seem to suggest women should be submissive. However, it also contains stories of strong, influential women like Deborah, Esther, and Mary Magdalene. This dichotomy has sparked debates among scholars and theologians about how these texts should be interpreted and applied in the modern world. Lastly, we delve into the allegations of historical inaccuracies. Critics often point to events in the Bible that don't align perfectly with our current understanding of history or science. Examples include the creation story in Genesis and the account of Noah's flood. However, it's crucial to remember that the Bible is not a textbook. It is a collection of religious texts that convey spiritual truths. To understand it fully, one must consider the cultural and historical context in which it was written. Bart D. Ehrman, a well-known biblical scholar, once said, "The Bible is a very human book. It was written, assembled, copied, and translated by people. That explains the errors. It also explains the contradictions." This perspective reminds us that the Bible, while revered as a sacred text, is a product of its time, shaped by the beliefs, traditions, and knowledge of the people who wrote it. Augustine of Hippo, an influential theologian of the early church, offered a different perspective. He suggested that any perceived contradictions or inaccuracies in the Bible stem from our limited understanding. He famously wrote, "If you believe what you like in the gospel and reject what you don't like, it is not the gospel you believe, but yourself." These controversies surrounding the Bible are not stumbling blocks, but stepping stones. They invite us to engage with the text critically, to question, to wonder, and ultimately to understand it better. While these controversies might seem unsettling, they provide a deeper understanding of the Bible's historical context. The Bible is not just a book, it's a cultural phenomenon. An apt description, wouldn't you say? As we delve into the seventh scene of our journey, we turn our focus to the Bible's profound influence on society and culture. Let's start with the laws. Many legal systems around the world, particularly in the West, owe a significant debt to the Bible. Tenets like "thou shalt not kill" and "thou shalt not steal" have been woven into the fabric of most legal codes, proving that the Bible's ethical teachings have had a profound impact on societal norms and regulations. Move on to morals, and the Bible's influence is equally pervasive. Concepts of love, forgiveness, and charity, so central to the Christian ethos, have seeped into our collective consciousness, guiding actions and shaping attitudes. Consider the parable of the Good Samaritan. It's a story that has transcended its biblical origins to become a universal symbol of compassion, inspiring countless acts of kindness. Artistic expression is another arena where the Bible's impact is undeniable. From the divine frescoes of the Sistine Chapel to the spiritual strains of Handel's Messiah, biblical themes have been a wellspring of inspiration for artists, writers, and musicians across the ages. Even today, biblical allusions crop up in popular culture, from films and novels to music and visual arts, testifying to the Bible's enduring creative influence. But the Bible's influence stretches beyond laws, morals, and art. It's embedded in our language, our idioms, our everyday expressions. Phrases like "the writing on the wall" or "go the extra mile" have biblical roots, showing how deeply the Bible has infiltrated our communication. Even in the realm of science and philosophy, the Bible has left its mark. The concept of the Logos from the Gospel of John, for instance, sparked philosophical debates that continue to this day, influencing thinkers from Augustine of Hippo to contemporary scholars. However, the Bible's influence isn't without its critics. Some argue that its teachings have been misused to justify prejudices and injustices. Yet, it's important to separate the text from its misuse. As Bart D. Ehrman, a leading biblical scholar, once said, "It's not the Bible that's the problem, it's the interpretation." In every aspect of society, from our legal systems to our artistic expressions, our moral compass to our everyday language, the Bible's influence is clear. It's a book that has shaped and continues to shape cultures, thoughts, and lives in profound ways. The Bible's fingerprints are all over our culture, a testament to its enduring relevance. So, as we continue to explore the Bible as a historical document, let's not forget its equally significant role as a cultural phenomenon. So, is the Bible a historical document or a legendary text? Let's circle back to the question that's been hovering over our conversation. We've journeyed through misinterpretations, archaeological evidence, literary analysis, contrasting views, controversies, and the Bible's role in society. We've heard from scholars like Augustine of Hippo and Bart D. Ehrman. Now let's bring it all together. The Bible undeniably holds historical significance. The events, people, and places it describes have been substantiated by archaeological findings and historical records. Its influence on societal norms, laws, and culture is far-reaching. The Bible is a historical document, but that's not all it is. It's also a book of faith filled with stories that have inspired and guided billions of people throughout history. This faith aspect, however, doesn't diminish its historical validity. It simply means we need to approach it with a balanced perspective, appreciating both its historical context and spiritual significance. Remember when we discussed the archaeological evidence, the ruins of ancient cities, artifacts, and inscriptions that align with biblical descriptions? These findings lend credibility to the Bible as a historical text. But they don't provide a complete picture. Some events, like the parting of the Red Sea or Jesus walking on water, can't be proven or disproven by archaeology or science. They require faith. When we delved into literary analysis, we saw that the Bible is a complex, multi-layered text. It's a compilation of various genres: poetry, law, narrative, prophecy, wisdom, literature, epistles, and apocalyptic writings. This diversity illustrates not only its historical richness, but also its spiritual depth. In the segment on contrasting views, we heard from scholars who question the Bible's historical accuracy. Some argue that it's a product of its time, reflecting the socio-political context of its authors. Others maintain that it's a divinely inspired text, holding eternal truths. These debates highlight the dynamic nature of biblical interpretation and the balance between historical facts and faith. The controversies we explored, such as the authorship of certain books or the interpretation of specific passages, demonstrate the ongoing quest for understanding the Bible. They remind us that reading the Bible isn't just about uncovering historical facts. It's also about seeking spiritual insights and grappling with profound questions about human existence. Finally, in our discussion on the Bible and society, we saw that the Bible has shaped laws, influenced art, inspired social movements, and guided personal ethics. Its historical and spiritual dimensions are intertwined, shaping its impact on our world. It's a historical document that provides insight into ancient societies and events. It's a complex, multifaceted book that continues to inspire, challenge, and transform us. Whether you see the Bible as a historical document, a legendary text, or both, its impact on our world is undeniable. The journey through the pages of the Bible is similar to a voyage through time. We've embarked on this adventure, unmasking Christianity, confronting misinterpretations, and delving into the archaeological evidence that supports biblical events. We've analyzed the literary richness of this ancient text and examined contrasting views and controversies surrounding it. And through it all, the undeniable truth remains: the Bible, beyond its religious significance, is a remarkable historical document. As we navigated this labyrinth of history, knowledge, and faith, we've seen how the Bible has shaped culture and society. From laws to literature, from art to ethics, its influence permeates every facet of our lives. It's not just a book of faith, but a book of people, places, and events. A book that documents humanity's journey with all its triumphs and trials. Yet the Bible is not a static text confined to the past. It's a living document, continually interpreted and reinterpreted, engaging with the present while echoing the age-old wisdom of the past. It's a testament to our shared human experience, a chronicle of our collective memory. But as we close this chapter of our exploration, let's not forget that this is just the beginning. The Bible, like history itself, is vast and layered. Every verse, every story, every parable invites us to delve deeper, to question, to learn. It encourages us to embark on our own voyage of discovery, to dig beneath the surface, to seek out the hidden truths nestled within its pages. In this journey of exploration, remember that the Bible doesn't demand blind faith, but invites thoughtful inquiry. It offers us a chance to engage with the past, to understand the present, and to shape the future. It's a bridge that connects us to our ancestors, a mirror that reflects our humanity, and a compass that guides us towards wisdom. In the words of Augustine of Hippo, the Holy Scriptures are our letters from home, so keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep learning. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to follow us on our journey through history and theology on Instagram at christianity.unmasked, on X at Christiani82002, as well as on Facebook and YouTube, all under Christianity Unmasked. Make sure to like and subscribe. Let the voyage through the pages of the Bible be your journey through time, a journey that enlightens, empowers, and enriches.